Hello, StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload, and today it's a game between Brutalisk and iPlay here on Ascension to Aiur, the latter edition. This is a top 8 Masters level game set to be at falconpaladin@gmail.com with the subject of best game I've ever played in my entire life. So, should be pretty good. In the bottom right hand corner of the map, we have the red Terran player iPlay. And in the top left-hand side of the map, we have the blue Zerg player, Brutalisk. Oh, who remembers that Brutalisk? From the Wings of Liberty campaign, I want to say it was when you're... What are you doing? You're sending your men into a secret facility where they're doing all these experiments, and then a giant Ultralisk, it's like twice as big as a regular one, pops out and just starts murdering everyone. That is the Brutalisk. It is a good time for a Zerg player, although trying to kill it is not the greatest time ever. Alright, so what's going on here with our Masters level game? Hatch first out of the Brutalisk, saving up a little bit of money here to go for the Extractor pool next up. And it looks like a Reaper expand out of iPlay. Refinery finishing now, starting to harvest the 3 workers. He should have enough by the time that Barracks finishes to make a single Reaper, so we'll have a name ready for him, and there's our pool. Going down for the Brutalisk. Got Overlords moving out, so low Overlords checking for proxies down south. Checking for proxies here at this third base location for Brutalisk. Not seeing anything because there's nothing to see. And got that 50 gas and got that Reaper. That timing from iPlay, fantastic. Wonderful. Wonderful timing indeed. Alright, so this Reaper's name, got a thing. I've got a thing for it. I do. Where did it go? Oh no. It's on my other monitor and the resolution's messed up, but I can't see the whole thing. Quick, pull up the phone, pull up the phone. There it is. Prexy. Originally dispatched to combat enemies in the void, this Reaper found himself succumbing to it. He forgot his birth name and became a nobody, a creature of darkness. Others claim he has lost his heart, but he is still able to feel joy while killing. He has a fear of giant keys. I don't know what that's referring to, but the giant key concept kind of reminds me of Kingdom Hearts, of which I've played 0 minutes. But I know what it is. I know people who love it very much. I've just never gotten around to actually trying it. But the giant key, like the Keyblade, maybe? I don't know. You're going to tell me in the comments if I'm stupid. So rolling on in. Again, tiny window here to get some stuff done before that speed is done and the queens are out. Can he get a drone kill is the question. KD8 charge goes down. Lings chasing him as they are faster on the creep. And, oh, picking off one as it tries to retreat there. We also have an Overlord being chased, rather, by a Marine. On the ground here, can he escape with his life is going to be the question of the day. Reaper, oh, the drone's getting an extra shot off and helping the Queen finish off Prexy. Sad news for him, his body collapsing onto that refinery. Ugh, it's very sad. Oh, the Overlord escapes by going into the high ground inside the main base of iPlay and then juking back out into this dead airspace. Beautiful stuff there. Yeah, fantastic out of Brutalisk. Got his third base coming down as well, feeling fairly confident. He should be able to pull that off at this point in time. He has no idea what's going on with the Terran player, though. He hasn't sent Lings out. He hasn't sent an Overlord in. He doesn't feel like he can because this one's super injured. And now, look, this one's getting hurt as well. Good gravy, Miss Maybe. All right, iPlay. You trying to kill an Overlord, and so far has 0 kills, but might be able to pick this one off. I like these trees. And, like, giant ferns, I guess? Why are there ferns next to pine trees? That doesn't make any sense, but it's a different planet. Maybe they just have a different ecology. Brutalisk is working on 35 harvesters, making 5 at a time right now. Really feels pretty darn safe to drone up like a crazy person at 3.5 minutes. There are Hellions just popping for iPlay. Are they going to move out and get some work done? Yeah, they kill a single Zergling that was here scouting. Still no scouting information. Oh, and the Overlord's out in the open. All right, so that's a free Overlord kill for this Marine. Sure, it takes him a million shots to kill it, but he gets it. He gets it like the pro that he is. We have a Banshee follow-up with Cloak from iPlay and a Baneling Nest coming in for Brutalisk. Also an Armory back here for iPlay. So it could be one of those traditional Hellbat and Banshee timings, which are pretty darn scary for Zerg players. He's partially walling off his natural here with a couple evolution chambers, making it hard to just waltz on in. The third base pretty darn open, but there are 2 queens. Spreading creep, but can also be used for defense at the same time. So it looks very much like we're meching it from our Terran player. Usually you don't open Hellbat Banshee and then transition into Bio, but I mean, especially not with 2 Banshees here. We'll see. We'll see what's going to happen here from the Terran player. Got a great wall of supply depots on its way. Here, the natural base protecting it. And Hellions rolling across the map. 6 of them. Trying to see what they can see. Overlord does scout this. So Queens and Banelings rolling down to the third to try to defend it. Got a Spore Crawler coming up too. Did he see that Banshee? He did. I think this Overlord might have seen it. So Banshee rolls in. Doesn't have Cloak yet. So taking some early shots from the Queens is bad news. Spore Crawler finished. So detection is available and Cloak is up for the Banshee. Here goes the Hellbat transformation. And they are waltzing on in, trying to do some stuff, scanning, clearing out some creep tumors, giving time for Banelings to finish and Queens to get into position here. Also, a bunch of Lings ready to pop out of those eggs. And here we go, Banelings from the top side. Banshee getting target fired here by the Queens. Explosions all over the Hellbats. Several of them are going down. A full surround on the remaining two. Yes, they're good against Lings, but in the end, if you're outnumbered 18-2, you're going to die no matter what it is. So the Banshees are down, Hellbats are all down, and how many Lings? 19 Lings died and a Baneling for Brutalisk. Not bad. Not too shabby a hold there from the Zerg players. Lings going for the counterattack. Into this third base location that iPlay is trying to toss on up just outside of his main. And he does not force a cancel on the command center. Nice pickup and lift and saving that SCV. That was great. And the great supply depot wall is done. What? 6 minutes done? That's incredible. Usually you don't see that. You don't see this wall being done for another couple minutes at least, if ever. I mean, sometimes players forget about it, but I play on top of stuff right now. Oh, it's down. Oh, now it's up. Now it's up. Now it's up. Now it's down. He accidentally downed all of those. And Baneling's coming in. I feel like we got a Baneling bust on our hands from Brutalisk. Meanwhile, he's taking a fourth base back home, doing a good job attacking and expanding. It's 54-51. Total Harvesters relanding his third base like a good dude is iPlay. And here comes a Baneling bust. Only takes 5 to kill a supply depot. And there we go. Taking 2 of them out. Still 4 remaining here. Hellions from distance, burning them down. Oh, does get 1 explosion in the middle of this mineral line. The Lings could finish off the wounded SCVs, but no. Hellions roasting them up. Banshee helping as well. Lings still doing stuff. And trying to get rid of these Hellions. That's a bad decision. Bad decision, Brutalisk. You got 1 Hellion, but the rest of your Zerglings are dead. 57 Lings murdered to this point. Another evolution chamber coming up from Brutalisk at his front door. Again, just trying to make sure Hellions don't have an easy time getting into his natural base. Infernal Pre-Igniter being researched. Back home, iPlay is working on a tech lab on that starport. He is making tanks. He's got another factory and another factory and a lot of factories. A lot of factories. So we are meching it. We are meching it here. We've seen some really good success from Mech Against Zerg on the channel recently at the highest levels of StarCraft. Masters, we'll see if it's any different. If any different at all. So 2 more Banshees and more Hellbats rolling into the third base location. Got Spine Crawlers coming up to prevent run-bys, but they're not done yet. Lings coming on in, but Zerglings alone not that great in the situation. Where are the Queens? Here's one of the Queens, but getting burned down. Banelings trying to get some nice hits off on these as well. Yes, they do take out a couple of them, but there are still 2 Hellbats with Blue Flame and a couple Banshees here. And they transform themselves into Hellions to try to chase down these drones that are lined up very nicely, but the Queens responding do pick them off instantly. Banshees going after the Spine Crawler. They get the Spine Crawler, but unfortunately for them, 2 Queens, more than enough to handle 2 Banshees, especially with 3 Queens. And the Banshees get killed. So iPlay probably shouldn't have sacrificed the Banshees there for no reason, but that's okay. That was a pretty darn good attack. Although surprisingly, only 2 drones have been killed by iPlay in this game. 2! Out of all of the Hellion and Banshee attacks we've seen here, 2 drones have gone down. It's 77-60 Harvesters, 104-96. Brutalisk looking good and strong on his 4-base economy, which he, pretty comfortably sit on 4 bases for a while here. Getting muscular augments, getting an infestation pit. Obviously, already has a Hydralisk then. A lot of static defense coming up at this 4th base too. I feel like this might be a primary target for the Terran player. Lings trying to do stuff here at the 3rd base location, but again, Hellions and Banshee pretty good at clearing that stuff out. 8 SCVs have gone down so far in the game. Nobody's really taken game-ending economical damage. So I think everything's going to be okay to this point in time. Hydras in production for the Brutalisk, trying to spread creep from this 3rd base location. 4th base, again, happily running. Spines are allowed to pop here before anybody really interferes. And iPlay taking a 4th base up along this right side. Another push of Hellions. If you're meching, you have to do this. You have to have a timer in your head that says it has been 1 minute and 13 seconds since you have harassed the Zerg. Please move out now. Because if you don't, the Zerg's going to get up to as many workers as they want, spend all of their larvae on army instead of replacing drones. You're going to have a bad time. So that was a pretty good little Blue Flame attack into the 4th base. There were Spines and Queens, but in the end, 11 drones. So that's 9 drones killed during that 1 attack. And again, you're going to sacrifice Hellions. They're going to die, but they're your mineral dump. You need gas more than anything else if you're meching as a Terran player. Are you expanding again? Where did I just see something flying? Was there a command center flying? Caught out the corner of my eye. 5th base coming up down south for Brutalisk down along this left side, just expanding as far away from the Terran player as he can. And now he's going for a hive at 10 minutes, working on all 3 +2 upgrades, +2 melee, +2 ground carapace, and +2 missile. Really looks like he's trying to go for ultras at some point. You usually don't see this +2 melee attack when you have this many hydras out, but I guess Brutalisk is planning on going for ultralisks, and it really does kind of stink when you're like, okay, I should transition to ultras, and you pop them out and they don't have any attack upgrades, and it's just not as efficient. Oh, Swarm Host. Never mind. We're not getting ultras at all. This is a Swarm Host play from Brutalisk. I mean, I guess with the +2/+2 on the missile and the ground carapace, it's going to be good. It's going to be really strong. The question is, what's the tank count for iPlay? He's got 9 of them. He's making 3 at a time. He's working on +3 vehicle weapons, you guys, at 10 minutes. The upgrades for both of these players have been on point. And here's the deal. If you have a million hydras, at some point it doesn't matter. If there are enough tanks on the ground, they're going to murder the Hydralisks into oblivion if you try to attack them from a ground position here. So, kind of like the Swarm Host play. Swarm Host can fly above the tank fire, land directly on the tanks and kill them. But on the other side, these Hellbats, if they have a good enough upgrades and +2 Blue Flame, that's going to be real good. You can pretty much instantly incinerate the Locusts as they land on top of your mech. So I like he has a pretty darn good composition here. Can't really shoot the Locusts out of the sky, not much anti-air, but once they're on the ground, I think their time is up here. Single Hellion scouting 5th base location down south and is shoot away because he's alone. And there's that triple spine crawler play again from Brutalisk. He really doesn't like Lings, or Hellions rather, running into this mineral line easily, at least messing up their path a tiny bit in the situation. Lings trying to chase down that Hellion, scout a million tanks. Pushing on out with his Swarm Host. Lings, Banelings, Hydralisks with their +2/+2 at this stage in the game is just dead impressive. Getting centrifugal hooks for the Banelings. Banelings for, I assume, let's see, going to be for the Hellbats. But how many Hellbats are on the ground is the question. Exactly 18. So yeah, Banelings could be useful in this situation. Another base for Brutalisk. Dang, 6 bases up for Brutalisk at 12 minutes. He is 194 to 191 supply. iPlay maxed out here as well. Nobody's really done a lot of damage. Attack from the top side. Hydra Baneling trying to flank around the back side here. And then Locusts at the front. Got to zoom out to catch both of this. Locusts landing on the Hellbats, and enough of them to overwhelm the Hellbats, even though they do technically counter them. Banelings on top of tanks. Locusts on top of tanks here too. Exploding too many Banelings all over those tanks, but you're going to win the battle. I guess in the end, that's all that really matters, possibly. But no, somehow iPlay wins it with a Banshee, a tank, and a Thor. Attacking into this 5th base location for Brutalisk down south. And they're going to get the hatch reinforcements joining here as well. Fantastic job out of the iPlay. And these eggs, oh, these are Hydras. It's probably a better mercy for the Zerg player to lose them now and get the refund than have the Hydras pop out and immediately die to these tanks and stuff. So that worked out, I think, for the Zerg player. Another base is done for iPlay. That is his 5th base. 5th base done. Responding defense here from Brutalisk. He's got the Locusts in the sky. Going to land a ton of them all over everything. Not enough Hellbats. Not even close. Thor down. Another Thor down. And retreating from this. Actually, not retreating. You should probably retreat from this iPlay. I don't like the number of Hydras that are on the ground for you. And everything is flying in these medevacts. The anti-air is strong. All right, so 5th base done for iPlay. He's going ahead and upgraded that one to a planetary fortress. His 3rd is not, though, and it's really exposed. I guess the sensor tower is going to give him enough time to see when units are coming. Anyway, +3/+3/+3 on the way from Brutalisk. Dang. Dem upgrades. Dem upgrades are strong. Pumping out 4 Liberators at a time as iPlay. Wants to go for Liberator. Against the Swarm Host, I guess that's fine. I mean, you really want splash damage against Locusts, and the Swarm Host don't have to stick around inside your circles of doom. So I don't know that Liberator is the way to go here for iPlay. Regardless, moving on up. And accidental flank here. Ugh. Locusts do find this mech army, and they're running for their lives. Get out. Get out. Gonna lose a couple Hellbats. Ugh. Yeah, one Hellbat does end up dead up there. Another one manages to escape quite nicely. And oh, the tanks, bad pathing on the tanks. Why? Oh, losing several of them for just bad pathing purposes. Another huge attack coming in the third at the same time from Brutalisk, Hydralisks, and Banelings getting rid of that third base entirely. Goodbye, refineries. Well, one of the refineries as well. Liberators trying to set up, but there are just so many upgraded Hydras on the ground. The Liberators die instantly. The tanks are the problem. The Hydras recognize that. They decide to back on out once the tanks arrive from that third base. So the fourth base happily running here. Swarm hosts have another... Their cooldown is up, is what I'm saying. 50 Lings in production from Brutalisk. He really likes his Zerglings. He's lost 160 already. Dang. +3 missile attack. Adrenal Glands is done. It is done. And here comes the Planetary Fortress versus the Locust play. The upgrades are just so good. No repairs available. Base down. SCVs forced to die as well. 36 SCVs have been killed. Tanks getting rid of Locust. Not what you want to see, but a Hellion run by up to this third base location. They've got the +3/+3 blue flame roasting up some drones very, very nicely here. Lings trying to respond, but they got a Hellbat transition now, but the Hydras are going to be enough. Finally, the third stage of defense from Brutalisk. Enough to make it happen. More drones have gone down. 20 drones, 36 SCVs. Another attack up here at the fourth base location with tanks versus static defense. Fully upgraded tanks, man. Not going to happen at all. Banelings from the south side. Again, versus tanks, not what you want to do, but if you're desperate, desperation calls for desperate circumstances. Gonna drop, what is it? Oh, it's a single Hellbat drop into this fourth base. And it will die. Yeah, there's too many spine crawlers here. 2 kills, 1 kills, 171 to 117 total supply. Brutalisk is up big time right now. Big time. He's got 68 to 46 workers. Losing 2 bases very recently here is iPlay. He's down to 3 bases. It is looking bad for the Red Terran player. But his fully upgraded mech is ready to rock. His Liberators don't only have +1 air weapons. Are you liberating down a single Hydralisk? Yes. Yes, you tried to do that. That's really funny. APM 260 for Brutalisk, 246 on average for iPlay. And Locust from the backside. Now see this tank fire. That's what I thought. Spreading creep is Brutalisk along this top middle lane, and he has reestablished. He lost this hatch right down here, this 5th base down in the bottom left. He did. 6th base, pretty happy here as 2, but again, tanks versus Hydras. No. Tanks retreating from this position. iPlay says, if you're not going to defend this base, I will happily destroy it with my tanks. Get out of Ascension to Aiur. This belongs to the Terrans. Swarm hosts trying to get into. Several Swarm hosts getting massacred as they get in range of that tank. They're even armored. They take more damage than Hydralisks do. Trying to swing in more tanks close. Pretty spread out. I am shocked at the lack of Vipers from Brutalisk in this game. Locust rolling down onto these tanks. Zerglings too trying to get in here, but just too much splash damage. And the Hydras are forced to retreat. Yes, several tanks died, but several tanks are still alive. The 6th base is totally gone at this point. 37 drones have been killed thus far. His Hellbat has 9 kills. 4 kills on this one as well. Continuing to push up is Mr. iPlay. Setting up in siege mode, and can you really not hit that queen? That queen was right on the edge. Here at this 3rd base location, Liberator gonna show up, get murdered by these Hydras because you overextended a little bit there, but that's okay. That's fine. He's reestablishing his 3rd base down here, which is good. He needs to do that. He probably should have done that a while ago, but that should help him immensely. Locusts coming down onto these tanks. Again, can't do anything about it when they're in the sky, and whoa. Tank down, and more tank down. Not all of them, though, I assume. Well, maybe so. I mean, that friendly splash damage from the other tanks was a killer on them. That's the thing. The Locusts land next to the tanks, and people away say, oh, there's stuff on you. Let me get it. And then the tanks take splash damage from their friends, and it is just, it's sad. It's a sad thing. I mean, it's a strategy that's been around forever. Zealot drops from shuttles in Brood War on tanks in PvT. Very, very common. See that a lot just because, again, the splash damage alone on large groups of tanks on a single tank is enough to murder it. All right, so 6th base is gone, not being replanted by Brutalisk here. Re-expanding his 4th base. Wait, never lost this one. Keeps his 4th base and a 5th base coming up for iPlay. Up along the right side here, too. Creep spread continuing to happen along this middle top lane, which is good, and still just sticking with Hydras and Swarmhost and Banelings. I don't know about this. I'm really unconvinced this is the way to go. But he's trying to make Swarmhost work. Remember those hours and hours long Swarm Host versus Mech plays. Oh, most of the Locusts landed on the low ground here to get that refinery, and oh, he wanted to land them on these factories, but no, not going to happen. Now the tank's just going to get rid of all of them. Bra. Planetary Fortress here too. Trying to get the tank, can't do it. Can't get the tank. Tank's still alive. 8 kills on him. It looked like Brutalisk was going to attack into this 3rd base while the Locusts were attacking this 4th base, but the first attack did not go very well. And there are several tanks back here at this 3rd base too. Really need to upgrade this command center to something, dude. That is a Greater Spire. Greater Spire coming up for Brutalisk. I'm going to go for those Broodlords at some point here. He needs to replant his 6th. He has so much money, but he's starting to get mined out, right? You're starting to see fewer and fewer resources coming in. Baneling's rolling into this 3rd base, doing okay. I mean, a couple SCVs died, a total of 40 to this point. But the income is not looking good for this. I mean, it's 1,000 for the Zerg player, 900 for iPlay, but you need more than that, and this is going to start falling. Start falling very, very soon, the Brutalisk. I am just shocked he hasn't retaken his 6th base. I mean, that's what iPlay's been doing really well, is retaking bases that have died and further expanding when he's had the chance to do so. Swarm Host setting up for some kind of a Locust attack. Locust attack number 77. He sees this one coming and says, oh, snap. Here we go. These ones not stuck on the low ground. Landing. Thor goes down. Mostly focusing on the Thor here. Can they get the Planetary Fortress? Is the question. The repair is up. The repair is up. The Hydras are helping here as well. The tanks are splashing on top of everything, and the Planetary Fortress does fall. Only 3 Hydras remaining. They immediately get destroyed by the defending tanks, but they wish they could have saved the PF. That is going to be Broodlord. Broodlord Cocoon right outside of this base that died. I mean, that is what? 1 orbital command and 2 planetary fortresses that have died so far in this game. It's 200 to 135 total supply. Brutalisk is up big time, making 15 Corruptors to deal with any anti-air. Liberator's setting up shop in a couple different places here. Wow. Actually, 3 separate places. Effectively shutting down all mining. Yeah, all mining here at this 5th base, at the 4th base too. The 3rd base is having a problem. This Liberator can't be hit by Hydras from back where she is. Look at this positioning. Does she even have extended thermal lance? No, she didn't have, not extended thermal lance. Advanced ballistics. It's a range upgrade. Give me a break. Let me catch that one. Is there just another Locust attack? Another Locust attack coming down. That base is gone, but these factories are here. Factories are in a lot of trouble, but so is this base down on the left side by Brutalisk. This 5th base location. Losing a starport here as well. Gonna take that one down before you expire, and indeed you are. And tanks survive only because the Locusts expire. So 5th base is toast. Fully upgraded Hellbats, fully upgraded tanks, fully upgraded Thors. And who's going to respond to this is the question. Corruptors getting rid of the Liberators who've been shutting things down for quite a while now. And suddenly, it's 36 to 37 Harvesters. Brutalisk is down in workers compared to iPlay thus far. This is actually dead impressive. Out of the Terran player, Hellbats. Oh, but the Broodlords. Broodlords are here. There's a single Liberator that can attack air stuff. This is not looking good for the Terran player. Hydras should not be involved in this battle. It should really just be Broodlords, honestly. Okay, the Hellbats, fine. You can deal with the Hellbats, but the tanks are the Broodlords' responsibility. Don't attack into them. What are you doing? Losing some Hydras is what you're doing. Broodlord's not even involved anymore. Somehow, some way. Good heavens. 16 kills on that siege tank, and all the Hydras are dead. Yeah, see, that was a waste. That was a total waste of Hydralisk, and finally the Broodlords finish it out. Another attack coming up here from iPlay. I'm not sure why I'm having a hard time saying iPlay, but every time I do, I hesitate. Like, is that right? Yes, that's right. Okay, good. All right, I suppose it is. Attacking in to this 4th base location, and a million Locusts show up, and the army says it's time to retreat. We're going to get the heck on out of here. Corruptors hanging out down south. Broodlords running this way. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to get rid of this army, but the army's way too fast. You guys are slow. You have 1.97 move speed, and Caustic spraying down the replacement 3rd base, which is now a planetary fortress, but it doesn't help against Caustic spray. A couple Thors trying to help here. They just do so little damage versus Corruptors, especially with +3 armor when they have that one upgrade and the PF does go down. Good heavens, that is the 3rd planetary fortress to die in this game so far. That's just insanity. 160 to 143 total supply. Brutalisk somehow has 28 drones. Has not replaced the bases that have died, and his income has got to be through the floor. It is 200 versus 1,200 right now. Again, taking that extra base up north. That, oh, Brutalisk doesn't know about this. Intel, you guys, you must know. You must know what is happening on your opponent's side of the map at all times. All right, here we go. Swarm host trying to hit these dudes, but once again, retreating from the Locust seems to be the wise course of action there. Very slow flyers, 2.62 move speed. And there we go. The Hellbats in the front doing pretty well against these dudes. Broodlords available. What's your anti-air against Broodlords? A couple Thors. Ooh, they are in 250 millimeter Punisher cannons here. 65 damage per shot versus armored, getting them off against these Broodlords who are trying to toss down Broodlings and distract and slow down a little bit here. Just trying to straight up fight, but no, the Hellbat supporting very nicely. Broodlords alone, not a very good unit. Turns out you gotta have some kind of support, whether it's Infestors, whether it's Queens, whether it's Hydras, Corruptors, something. Because as it stands, they're just getting chased and exploded and trying to stand and fight. And this Broodlord with 1 kill finally gets killed by the Thords. Expanding again is iPlay. Did he lifted off his main and put it way over here. Okay, so that's good for him. Continuing to push on in here with the tanks, with the Thors. Corruptors, I think, are just trying to distract the Thors, but it's not really working here. Everything is dead for Brutalisk. He's got a Swarm host. Brutalisk calling out the sigh. Those blunders, though, yeah, there were some mistakes. There were some mistakes there, Brutalisk. The Swarm hosts are caught out of position. I had this game, and I bleeped it up. And that's it. Brutalisk is defeated. iPlay is victorious in 26 minutes and 20 seconds. All right, so one thing, Brutalisk, yes, I do feel like you had a very strong position. You did not win the game. I would argue it's not so much tactical blunders as much as not replacing your bases when they died. All right, your bases, you lost your 6th base, never replaced it. Lost your 5th base, never replaced it. Never expanded to beyond those 6 bases at all. iPlay continued to push out into new frontiers, continued to replace the ones that died with the exception of a single base, but that's fine. It didn't really replace the drones that died either there. He was really worried about counterattacks, I guess. Probably overmade Corruptors here too. You needed some anti-air to deal with Liberators or Vikings or something, but iPlay never really had a significant amount of anti-air. So these Corruptors were just dead supply. Dead supply at this stage. And also, trying to make Swarm Host work against a meching player who knows what they're doing. You can't attack their army when they're in the middle of the map. They just run away. You need to force them to engage by attacking bases. Knowing about this one would have been nice. Knowing about this one would have been nice. Knowing about this one and this one would have been nice. Just lack of intel, I think, is what killed the Zerg player. But iPlay, doing his best, man. Kept pushing. Lost so many things. Ended up losing 41,000 resources. Brutalisk, too, sitting at 41,000 lost resources. Pretty darn even. 58 drones versus 44 SCVs fell. 43 tanks died. That's a lot of tanks. 274 lings seems a little bit low for the rate we were seeing earlier on. 3 hatcheries versus 3 planetary fortresses and an orbital command. So, whew. Once again, Terran mech wins here. We'll see if Zerg can figure this out. Swarm hosts do not seem to be the answer. All right, that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming to you with another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, and a Patreon, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.